Hello guys, what's up? It's ItsAnnaLouise and I'm coming here for you today with a video that I never wanted to have to make. It's a pregnancy video that I would never want to have done. But alas, here we are. And this is about a company that single-handedly gave me the worst day of my whole entire life, the worst experience of my whole entire life, and one of the worst weeks of my whole entire life. And I want to spread awareness on this so that no other expectant mother, father, family of these people have to go through this. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I've been sitting on this for the last couple of weeks, just trying to be calm, kind of calm down a little bit from the fiasco, but essentially, here we go. So when you're pregnant, you have the option to get genetic testing done, which also will tell you the sex of your baby. And I know so many people who do this, and I wanted to do it too, not only for the sex of the baby, but to get a peace of mind or know ahead of time in case something was wrong with my baby. And the doctor's office, the whole building that I go through, has a partnership with one specific company. At least I'm almost sure, so I'm going to say allegedly. Probably be using allegedly a lot in this because it makes me nervous. And on TikTok, I didn't even say the company's name. I said something that rhymes with it, but I will here. It's Natera. So they have a company, Natera, that they work with. And that was the only option I was given. And essentially, this company takes your blood, they run it, they let you know if your baby has any of these awful, life-threatening or just awful, genetic issues. So when it got to be my time to do the genetic testing, which I chose to do, I was just told, they're going to get your blood. The results will come out in about a week. Talked about my insurance and about pay. And essentially that was about all that we were given. And I was just so excited because, I've never heard anything bad. And also I didn't know about any other companies because once again, my specific doctor's office just promoted and offered this one company. So I got it done, was waiting that week, nervous, excited, all that good stuff. And then on the next Wednesday, which was 2 weeks ago now, one whole week, on the app, it said my results were ready. So I was so excited because I've had such a hard pregnancy. I was trying to take it in, and finally this is a moment that I can be excited for. I'm gonna find out what my baby is, and I get to share this with my husband and actually have a good moment. So I was with my mom at the time because she was going to come help me at my house get some product videos for my business. So we drove over there really fast, and I got out, met my husband at the door. We were so excited, shaking with excitement. My hands were really shaking. We got in there to have that moment together. I clicked on it, and the very first thing it said for the sex of the baby was NA. And immediately I was confused, and I'm like, why don't they, what do you mean, NA? And before I had time to process anything else, this cartoon woman popped up on the screen that looked all happy, just like she was just here just to, chat it up and not say anything devastating, pops up and essentially says that my baby is, I am very high risk of my baby having multiple different, one or more, I don't know, of multiple different really bad genetic issues that would result in them dying in utero, not making it past birth, or having Down syndrome. I can't even begin to tell you what I just felt in that minute. My husband and I were just staring at my phone, really confused. She was just smiling and just talking away on the stupid app, and I just, no information was actually getting in on what fucking happened. So essentially, my husband called the doctor right away. We were waiting on the call back, and I just ran out to my mom, no shoes on. I looked like a mess, crumpled in her arms, and just started crying. I lost it. I was crying, and then I started screaming, I swear to you, louder than I ever have in my life. I mean, the neighbors probably thought someone was getting murdered outside. I'm telling you, screaming bloody murder, because I thought, my child, I'm gonna be I'm gonna lose my child, or it's gonna have Down syndrome. And no, I'm not saying, because someone has left a rude fucking comment before saying, what's wrong with people with Down syndrome? Nothing. It's not a crime to want your child to be safe and healthy and to worry about them. So anyway, obviously just know I don't have it. I just want my child to be safe and healthy. But yeah, that, or they were going to die in my womb, and that would be traumatic because essentially, or something was going to have to be done because they would not make it past birth and it would be very bad on them. The doctor called back. He actually called me because normally it's like a nurse. He called and, you know, I was with my mom and my husband in the driveway, and he immediately just apologized, and I was, you know, crying my eyes out, and he was like gonna read the results with us. So he was looking over them, and essentially, which keep in mind, a lot of this did not sink in my head till late that night because I was traumatized. But he basically said, like, I'm so sorry, this is why I hate these tests. He said he hated them, did not like them. And keep in mind, you know, I guess it wasn't his decision that that was the test I had to get. This is a huge ass corporation of a building with tons of doctors. Like, they made a fucking, like, contract with this company, allegedly, I think. And so with that being said, he was like, I hate these tests and this is why. And essentially what he explained was, which I didn't even get to comprehend, I didn't get to see because Little Miss Cartoon Happy Lady, that they didn't even run my blood sample. So in order to run the blood sample, like to give you your results, for this company only, no others, because there are a lot of other genetic testing companies out there, of course I didn't know, that would have read mine, but you have to have so much of your baby's DNA before they will, in your blood system, in that specific sample before they'll read it, which theirs is like at a 4. And I think mine was, it was 2.6. And so they didn't do it. So instead of not doing it and saying like, we couldn't do it, your level was too low for us to do it, like for their reasons, because they try to market themselves as the fucking best, like we'll only read it over this amount because we're the best. And instead of that, and just saying like we can't or whatever, they give everybody, and I mean everyone, the same generic ass result sheet. Yeah, and that's what happened to me. So, and by the way, I didn't even understand the capacity of this till later that night, but they give everybody, no matter the race, your height, your weight, none of that shit, because that's what they so-called look at. No matter what that is, you get that 1 in 17 chance. The statistic that they pulled out of their ass gets given to everyone. So they just decided to say that, right? So I'm still scared. I'm so traumatized. The scariest thing is like fucking happened to me, and I've been through a lot of shit in my life. So anyway, the next step was going to be, because to ease my mind, number one, and just because I got those results back, and because I was so scared, they like to refer you to like a high risk doctor. And so he literally got on his own phone and made a connection so I could get in the next day, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have gotten to get in till today. Like, I'm filming this on February 29th on Leap Day. I wouldn't have gotten to get in until today. So I got in for 11 the next morning, and essentially he said, you know, that they have a very high-tech, super sensitive ultrasound machine that the doctor, you know, will look at, and you can do more genetic testing with a different company. And then of course there's also, if she saw something wrong, the really invasive, painful amniocentesis test, where they have to stick a big needle up your, you know what, put it into your womb and extract DNA from the baby. So that whole night, I could not be alone. I had to be by someone's side 24/7, mainly my husband, because my mama is more pessimistic like me, and my husband is the voice of reason. So I felt the most comfortable, you know, being around him. I could not sleep. I was just panic attack, cry, freaking out. And usually they say to never look anything up, and I do agree with that, but in this case, looking this up was the best decision that we could have made, because so many other people have went through this. They have done this to so many women, it's not even fucking funny. And a lot of people, like, they posted their same sheet, like the sheet with the results, look the exact same as mine. And I don't even, you know, whatever age, you know what I mean? Like, and they had like doctors replying on their, like, the thread, the post, on Reddit and like, I hate this test, it's wrong, it shouldn't even be allowed, this company shouldn't like, you know, be doing this, blah, blah, blah. And of course, these women went through the same next step as I am. And, you know, essentially that's, you know, worked out. So anyway, I made it through that night, showed up at the doctor, sick as I could be, sobbing. The high-risk doctor was probably the nicest doctor I've ever met in my life. She came in and was just so sweet while I was bawling my eyes out on the fucking ultrasound table, and like took my hand and she gave me a tissue and she was like, I don't think this is going to be as bad as you think. And essentially she ran through everything and said at her office, like, they do not like to recommend that test. They don't recommend it. She agreed with me and we both said that it is unethical what they do. They prey on one of the most vulnerable groups of people out there, expecting mothers. And they do it to save their own asses and to just literally, like she said, and this is allegedly, to make more money so that you will buy more tests with them. And like, and this is not a fucking cheap test either, by the way. It's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So that you'll get more tests and like, you know, for maybe a higher fetal fractal for them to test. So anyway, and she said that this happens literally so much that I went at 11 a.m. and I was already her second patient that morning for this reason, that someone like referred to her because of this. She also said if it was any other company that they would have read my blood, but this one is just, they're very, very fucked up. And how anyone approved this company of fucking being in business and doing this, prison. They should fucking be in prison, all of them that fucking do this. So anyway, she looked at my ultrasound and definitely relieved a lot of worry. She said that my baby was a beautiful, at this point I was 13 weeks, 13-week-old baby, that nothing looked wrong, everything looked great. But of course, like with Down syndrome and stuff and, you know, everything, like still the blood test is really good. So we wanted to do it with a different company. So we did, and we went through a different company that was 1,000 fucking times better, let me tell you. Maternity 21. I went to go get my blood drawn. I actually had to go all the way back up there the next day because I was dehydrated from crying so much they couldn't get my blood. And then this test only took 5 days, but through that whole week, I'm telling you, it was nothing but me not being able to leave my husband's side, feeling like my life was over, literal PTSD where I would just zone out like this and have flashbacks fucking playing in my mind, the trauma, not being able to sleep, I don't know if I said that, needing the constant reassurance. Like literally my husband had to probably say the same thing over and over to me about 10 fucking thousand times. And anyway, 5 days from that day, we were in bed and we got the call and the doctor was like so happy and so cheerful and just said that she had great news and that our baby was healthy and tested negative for all the bad things and let us know that he was a boy. And that was last Wednesday. So not the one that just happened because today's Thursday, but the last Wednesday. But I have just been livid, and I'm so traumatized by this. I'm like having to talk about it in therapy. It's just awful. And the thing is, too, because of this company, I have now been caught, like I've now had to pay more money for another doctor and more testing and like thing after thing. Other moms too, you know, they've had to do this. Some have had to go through really painful, invasive testing because of this. More money on them. Some have had miscarriage because think about how much stress that fucking puts on you, you know? So anyway, I really wanted to share this so that this doesn't happen to anyone else. And if you do want to get a genetic test and this is the only one that they offer, just please know that this could happen. But I don't want anyone else to go through this. No mother, no father, no like anyone that is in their group, their family, no one deserves it. And it should never be allowed to begin with. And basically just the only thing I ask is in the comments if you had anything happen, anything be wrong and then actually, you know, come out to be bad or something that would scare me, please don't comment it because I am so torn up and just traumatized and I worry even so much more. My anxiety, all I am, it's like I'm sick every day. Even on top of the regular sickness I've already been facing during this very hard pregnancy, it's like skyrocketed. So just please don't, just be kind and like don't say anything that would, you know, just scare me. I just wanted to get this out there because no one deserved to fucking go through this. But I'm gonna end this here, get something to eat because I'm fucking starving as always while being pregnant. But after this, of course, hopefully pray to God, which thank you so much, Lord, for a healthy baby. I cannot thank him enough. From the videos here on out will be good, happy, like, pregnancy videos. So yeah, I would say I hope you enjoy this, but this is not something really to enjoy, but I hope this has helped somebody. And I love you guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.